hundreds of years, if not thousands. And it's commonly known as a tool for divination and prescribing future outcomes. And cool, certainly, I mean, people still use it that way. But I don't, at least maybe sometimes I will for myself, but especially with clients, I believe it's best to keep the power within my client. It's best to keep your power within yourself. So what this means is that before every reading, I always state that you are your own creator and you have free will. So, and I want to repeat, you are your own creator. So it's important to know the difference. So like every day that we wake up, there are two things that are happening. Either we're automatically reacting to life, or we are consciously participating in our experience. So there's a huge difference there. And keeping our power means also understanding our power in being able to make conscious choices every day. And in alignment with keeping your power, there's also the recognition of your responsibility. And the way that I understand responsibility is my ability to respond, or your ability to respond to your emotions, your ability to respond to the things going on, situations in your exterior environment. In addition to being your own creator, I also strongly believe that we are co-creators. So we're our own creators first, but we're also co-creating, I believe, with a larger intelligent force and energy. Some people call this energy spirit. But to make that statement a little bit more practical and down to earth, we could also say that we're co-creating with the infinite opportunities that exist in our environments, and also the infinite potentials that are sort of looming out in our future. So the choices that you make today are really hooking and drawing in the outcomes that match the frequency of your attitudes and beliefs that you carry today. So I'll say that one more time. So the choices that you make today are attracting the outcomes that match the frequency of the energy that you're holding. And that's super powerful and a game changer. I mean, I feel like when we are able to take that and really metabolize that, we're playing the game. I like to call it playing the game. And while we play the game, I think it's also very important to be so very careful, so very full of care, to recognize how powerful our thoughts are, because our thoughts can, on one end, be like a weapon and create conflict and destruction. But on the other side, our thoughts can turn into a powerful tool for creation and expansion and collaboration. So my favorite reason, the reason why I love tarot so much is because it's such a valuable tool for managing our thoughts and recognizing the power that we have, and really teaching us to be mindful of what we're thinking and to manage how we think. So, you know, with tarot, kind of circling back to how I don't use it to predict your future, I think that you're creating your future yourself. And so an analogy that I like to use is a record player. And, you know, you can imagine that the needle of your record player is like on a particular song, and all the choices that you make today, and the beliefs and the attitudes that you have and the energy that you're holding, it's creating that groove. It's creating a song. And so if you're happy with the song that you're playing, then rad, like awesome, continue to perpetuate that course. But if you seek change, if you need to reframe or like adjust your perspective, you certainly can. And it's through your understanding and your ability to work with your emotions and allowing them to move through you. And then also, you know, your ability to like work with your thoughts. You can shift the needle to a new groove. You can shift the song. So I know that many times, especially now, a lot of us maybe are feeling stuck. But I promise you, you know, your soul will show you your own way in how it is that you'll move through the blockages. But I promise you that none of us are truly stuck. We can always shift the needle and always play another song. So now I'm going to go into a little bit about tarot. And when I say a little bit, I really mean a little bit, like we're barely even skimming the surface. But I'd just like to share with you how I understand tarot, how I use it. And the reason why I want to do this is because if you feel called to use tarot, you certainly can. Everyone has access to intuition. And that's what I'm most excited about today, is to teach you how I get there. And there are lots of ways to get to that channel of intuition. This is just one way. And so if it works for you, fabulous. If it works for you and you want to alter it a little bit to fit your personal constitution, go right ahead. So I wish I could toggle back and forth. So the tarot deck, it's comprised of two different sections. So we have the major arcana and minor arcana. And what arcana means is secrets or mysteries. So we have major secrets and minor secrets. The major arcana has 22 cards, and these 22 cards reveal cyclical evolutions in life. So we're constantly going through death and rebirth cycles through life, and tarot reveals those cycles and can also offer us wisdom and guidance to bring us through those cycles with more ease and comfort and clarity. The archetypes within the major arcana also are expressing variables of human consciousness. And it really is like these cards they're revealing what's happening on the inside. They're cards about your interiority. So the mental, emotional, and spiritual layers of you. And they also reveal soul lessons and necessary challenges to expand your self-awareness. So that's the other reason why I really love tarot, because sometimes in life we think about things happening in terms of either good or bad. And often we just want to be on the good side. Like we want to get as far away from the bad as possible. But what I love about the tarot, especially specifically with the major arcana, is it teaches us to embrace all of the experiences. In Qigong, it's called embracing tiger. So it's like, I'm going to embrace all of my conflict and all of, let's say, call them failures, with all of my successes and all of my joys. And I'm going to bring all of that into my heart and appreciate that all of these experiences are informing my whole, I guess, my whole experience, and helps me learn myself in a deeper way. So it's not about good and bad, it's about embracing it all. So for the minor arcana, 56 cards, and there are 4 suits within the minor arcana, and each suit corresponds to an element that symbolizes a layer of your being. And these cards also express your outward actions and how you're kind of mingling your energy out with the exterior world. So super quick crash course on this. There are 4 suits. The first is cups, which is related to the element of water, which is about your emotions. Swords is related to the element of air, which symbolizes the intellect. Wands is the element of fire, and that symbolizes your spiritual energy and your creative energy, and often ambition. And then last, discs is related to the element of earth and is all about your physical experience. So physical experience in the body, and then physical experience out in the world. Court cards can signify other people. Often, many of you probably have already had tarot readings before, and often people will use court cards, which are like prince, princess, king, queen, as signifiers of other people in your life. But I like to keep it all about the self, kind of like when we're doing dream journaling and dream work, like all the characters that we dream about are really aspects of ourself. And so that's how I like to look at court cards too. I like to use them as suggested archetypes to embody. And the other thing about the court cards is that they are the most mature aspect of each suit. So for example, if we were to take the King and Queen of Cups, they would be representative of the most mature aspects of your emotions. And then last, the Ace through 10 cards, those are related to actions, so causative energy and causation. And here's just an example of the deck that I use. So we have cups, swords, wands, discs, and this is the Mother Peace deck created by Karen Vogel and Vicki Noble. First released in they created it in the late 70s and it was published in the 80s, but just a really beautiful, nurturing deck, just so supportive and so inclusive. and so very easy to read. So if you wanted to buy a deck and you don't have one yet, I highly recommend this one, just because the artwork is so beautiful and just really supportive and opening intuition. So real quick, there are a lot of people that are making tarot decks now, which is super rad. But with that, people are sort of skewing the cards and making their own interpretations. And so it's really important that you do read the book so that you understand where the creator is coming from. But I say that, and it's like, okay, so read the book, learn the fundamentals, but don't rely on the book always. Tarot, at the heart of tarot, it is a tool for expanding your intuition. So if you do get a deck, you know, read the book, but then learn how to put it down and trust yourself. And we'll get into that more later when we do our little meditation on accessing intuition. Really quick, this is a life path tarot. We're not going to do that together today. It's just too much information, but I just wanted you to see what that looks like. And then 3 card readings. So this is a reading that if you do have a deck or if you get one, you can easily take home and do yourself right away. Commonly 3 card readings are known, so you read from left to right, and it normally or customarily is past, present, future. But how I like to read is from left to right, the left card being the representative of the soul's lesson right now, and then the middle card being the suggested archetype to embody, and then the last card being the outcome card or an offering of further advice. And so what I've done here is I've separated my deck out with the major arcana, and then I divided the minor arcana between the court cards. So the court cards is in the center, Priestess of Wands there, and then the Ace through 10. And if you do have a tarot deck, this is a fabulous, super fantastic way to organize your cards. And in doing so, it makes it a lot easier to learn how all of the cards work together, because they really do create one wheel. And the more you work with the tarot, you start to learn how all of that energy is working together to create stories or understandings of yourself. Jody, how are we doing? Can you hear me?
I can, Kat. Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, great.
Okay,
I just want to make sure we're good.
Yeah, no, we're doing good. No questions yet in the chat. If you guys have a question, feel free to put it there. But by all means, this is the age of conversation. So if you've got a question that you want to ask Kat, you can easily hold down your space bar and it will unmute you temporarily so that you can go ahead and ask your question live. So one, before you get going on to the setting the energetic contract slide, that I wanted to ask you, Kat, is do you see any differences in when you read your own cards? Do you read your own cards? And when someone in your community reads your cards?
I think that there can be a difference. I do read for myself, but I use a separate deck. So the deck that I'm using today is reserved for clients and for sharing and for community. And then I actually have another deck of this same, of the mother piece that I use just for myself. And that has to do about energies. I really do love getting readings from other people. Because I believe that whoever is across from you is always your teacher. I love that. I love that saying. Angelus Arian came up with these archetypes, and I can't go into it today. I wish I could, but anyhow, it's just a treat to hear other people interpret the cards, because you could have you could take any card, and I mean, I might see it one way, and I'm reading with my own experiences and through my intuition. Which there are aspects of my intuition that are unique to me. And so it's just a treat to hear how other people respond to it. And so, and that's why earlier I was saying, like, we're barely even, we're not even skimming the surface. There's just so much deep, rich information in the tarot. And so I love getting readings from other people. But that being said, it doesn't need to be, I think that some people think that tarot needs to be delivered by another person. You can certainly deliver a reading to yourself. It's, like I said earlier, it's a profound tool for expanding self-awareness, and also like a very strong tool for developing intuition. And so for those that are interested in doing that, I would recommend that they get their own deck and definitely do readings for themselves. But, you know, we learn from each other, so it's also valuable to get readings from others. Good. Sounds like I lost contact with you, Jody. So I'm going to continue here, assuming that we're still connected. Just going to text Jody really quick.
I think Jody's on mute.
Okay,
yep,
great.
We're all
Thank
set.
you.
You're all here.
Sorry, I let go of my space bar for just a moment. It's my nose.
All right.
And I went to help my handbasket. Yeah, so we're all set, Kat. Keep going.
Cool. So before starting a reading, and honestly, before I do any service, whether it's energy healing or tarot reading, it's always important to set an energetic contract. And I wish we had more time. I want to teach you on how to set energetic contracts for yourself and protecting yourself, but maybe next time. But as it pertains to tarot, it is this. So before I do the reading, I get myself into a very calm place, which I'm going to teach you how to do in a minute. And then I say this prayer, mantra, invocation, whatever you want to call it. So please send all the wisdom and guidance that is for my highest good or for Jody's highest good right now and in the near future. So of course, depending on whether you're reading for yourself or for someone else. And please send only the energies that support what is good and true and beautiful for myself. Please protect me with safety and security as I open my heart to receive. And something that I wish I had put here is that in gratitude. So, you know, think of accessing intuition like turning a dial on a radio station. And when you turn the dial, you're setting the radio to a frequency to pick up a channel, right? And so what we're doing is we're setting ourselves to the frequency of love and gratitude. Those emotions create an energetic frequency, and those frequencies are the key to accessing our higher awareness and also higher wisdom from like our collective consciousness. So gratitude and love are a big deal, and we could talk about that for days. It's just very powerful, powerful energy. So it's always very important to set our energetic contracts. And then we're going to move into I think I'm going over time, but we're going to move into our meditation here in a moment. But the last thing I want to say is this is something that I would tell myself as I was starting off sharing tarot more often. And I was scared because I kind of had imposter syndrome, and I was like, I just don't know enough. But the thing is that I'm never going to know it all. And that's the joy of it, to be able to show up to learning and to receiving. What a gift that learning is infinite. And so what I like to say is that I am the expert of my own interpretation, and I give myself permission to continually learn and develop my understanding. And so I share this with you, so maybe you can use it so that if you have any fears or just doubts about hopping into learning this, I hope that you can wash that doubt and fear away. We're all the expert of our own interpretation, and we are continually learning.
I love that.
All right,
We're
so
getting a lot of good feedback on that last statement, because I think that's super important, especially as we've tried to execute on this event. We're all learning, and you have to be okay with that. Mm-hmm. We did have one question come in before you go to the centered awareness. Are there any topics or themes that you suggest that people stay away from?
Yes. How can I answer this concisely? I'm responsible for my soul's journey. And Jody, if I were to give you a reading today, I'm giving you that reading with your consent. And so with your consent, I'm asking your higher self for information. Okay. I think that it's irresponsible. People do it, okay? But I think it's irresponsible and bad energetic hygiene to just start tapping into people's business. We only want to go into where we're invited to. And then also, when it comes to like predicting particular events, specifically death, off the table. Like if I were to go and get a reading from someone and they were actually talking about literal death, I'd be like, peace out, not talking to you. So Does that answer the question?
Sorry. I think so. That was a question from the group. So if that person wants to come off mute and
Yeah.
clarify, please have at it.
Yeah, that was great.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, really, that's why in the beginning I was talking about moving away from predicting future and more about expanding self-awareness. I think that's the safest way to use tarot. I'm not really into the dark arts, and I'm sure that there are people that use these types of magical channels to obtain, information. And let's just say, in my mind, in my heart, I find it to be a little nefarious, but it's just not the frequency I choose to operate in. So. It's not like I have a book of code of ethics. It's just, I think the basic thing that I follow is that I'm only going to offer service to where I'm invited. And you'll know in your heart. I mean, if there's a lot of humming and hawing, then all the great sages always say, if we're confused, do nothing. And so if there's a lot of confusion on an area that you're trying to tap into, then maybe it's not the time to go through that door. But, as it pertains to yourself, all those doors are yours, and you can open any of those whenever you want to, whenever you're ready.
Awesome. All right, we're good.
Yeah, so heart-centered awareness. I'm just going to toggle back because I want to see the group. I can't see the Zoom screen. So I'll restart this in a little bit. Hi, everyone. Hi. All right, so really quick, I might be over time here, but hi. So before I go into the meditation, I'd like to explain something, and I think that if I draw it, it might be a little bit easier. So I often tell my clients that the soul contains the body. And so what this looks like is this. So if this, can you all see this okay? So if this is the body, physical body, and we could say that this is the ego self. The physical body is the ego, oops, I can't spell self. And then, so here's the physical body. Here is your soul energy. See, bigger than your body. So this experience that we're having right now is just a tiny little sliver of your soul consciousness expressing itself through whatever it is that you're experiencing in this lifetime. And so when we talk about higher self, out here, this is the higher mind, the higher self. I also like to call this big you. And so when we open the heart center, what we're doing is we're opening up a channel to receive this information from our higher self, higher wisdom, and then also from our collective consciousness. Does that make sense to everybody? Cool. All right. So now let's get to the fun part.
You've got about like 4 to 5 minutes before it's a quote session change in case anyone wants to go. Otherwise, okay. Your first appointment isn't until 10 till, so you've got that much time.
Okay, I'll try to rush through it. Shoot.
All right.
So, so if everyone feels comfortable, just go ahead and gently close your eyes. And so the secret to accessing intuition is all about getting into your heart center. And we literally cannot get into our heart center if we're living in our mind and if our mind is disconnected from our body. So the first thing that we have to do in accessing our intuition is calming the mind and the body. And the way that we do that is simply by focusing on the breath. So allowing yourself to find your natural rhythm of breathing. And as you find your natural rhythm of breathing, each time you exhale, you will automatically begin to feel your body naturally respond in relaxation. Each exhale, you feel your mind growing calmer and quieter. And if you feel any pressure or jaggedness on your back, allowing all of that to just melt away. And here, relaxing your tongue. And as soon as you relax your tongue, you'll most likely feel your throat area automatically open. And when that happens, it sends a signal to your shoulders to relax, and your shoulder muscles will feel like they're melting, sending a wave of calm down your arms, feeling that calm circulating around your elbows and further through your wrists and out through your fingertips. Feeling your chest area and your heart area softening and opening, and feeling your heart center expanding. And when you do that, when you feel that, your belly automatically relaxes. So you can feel all the muscles around your solar plexus just letting go. And that automatically then sends the chain reaction to the base of your spine. And now any tension that you're holding at the base of your spine is released, just directly into the center of the earth, feeling your hips opening, and then feeling that softness and that calm wave again moving through your thighs, circulating around your knees, down through your ankles and out through your toes. So really simple, just in under a minute, we've connected our mind to our body, and you can feel yourself very still. Now bringing your awareness to the center of your heart, I'd like you to imagine that there is an entrance and an exit, and the entrance is at the back of your heart, and the exit is at your front. And trusting your imagination, trusting how you sense this in your body, pulling in all of the beauty that you have ever known in nature, in people that you love, your family, your animals, and feeling that enter through the back of your heart like a soft ribbon, gently moving through all the way extending out the front. The next, feeling, even if you don't know their names or know their faces, feeling all of your ancestors' love and support flowing through the back of your heart like a ribbon, then flowing all the way out through the front. And then all of the infinite love that's in the whole entire universe. All of this infinite love flowing through your heart. And feeling this golden light just softening and warm and just opening your heart more and more. Feeling your whole heart radiating. And so it's in this calm place that you receive information from your ancestors, from your higher mind, and from spirit. It's in this place where you can easily move doubt and ego aside and hear your heart. So we can all open our eyes now. Many of you have made choices in your life where you knew the answer in your heart. You didn't, I mean, maybe you had thought about it, but it was like, for sure, you knew the answer right here. And when we do those kinds of visualizations and meditations to sync up the mind and the body, we're strengthening that, this place of communication. I mean, the heart actually has neurons around it. It doesn't have as many as the brain, of course, but it has thinking material. And so I like to suggest that we use our heart mind with our logic mind and see them as one, so that we're bringing in information, filtering it through our heart, and then allowing that to come up, and then we apply our logic to it. But for tarot, that's essentially what I'm doing. And I mean, and once you practice it, it goes by faster and faster and faster. So, I mean, what's happening is that you're getting your brain from beta frequency into theta. And it's in that very still place that, that we can be receptive. We let go of the control of our ego and we open up our heart to receiving. So here, I picked some cards for us. Hopefully you can see them okay. I actually have another slide. So do you think we should stay here? Or should I go back to my slides?
Oh, I like this.
Okay, good. So just like we were talking about in the slides, we have 3 cards. This is the soul lesson. This is the archetype to embody. And this is a suggestion on what to do or an outcome. And these cards today are reading our collective energy. So we have a global karma that we share. And then we have our personal karma that we tend to for ourselves. And so this is our collective soul lesson, collective archetype to embody, and then collective outcome. And so here we have temperance. In the tarot, temperance comes after the card death. And death, honestly, is my favorite card. It means transformation. It's just like a snake sheds its skin. And all of us, we don't even have to go into it. We all know what death is. I mean, this has been a crazy year. But a lot of really beautiful transformation has come through the hardships as well. And so temperance is essentially teaching us to reclaim our personal power. This energy is teaching us to reclaim our personal power, our generative power, our regenerative power after this significant change. And she's also about magic and alchemy. So remember earlier we were talking about the elements. Temperance is about turning water into fire, right? I mean, that normally doesn't happen. It's usually water extinguishes the fire, but this is about learning how to manage our emotions and learning how to transmute our emotions so that they no longer paralyze us, so that we can reclaim our power, and so that we can assert our purpose for whatever it is we believe our authentic desire is for ourselves, but then also assert our energy in contributing like our positive share into society. So that's what the lesson is right now, is how are we each showing up to our emotions? How are we each honoring our emotions? I mean, really, this is what we do. This is actually something that I learned from a person named Sadhguru. He says, acknowledge, accept, and dissolve. So acknowledge the emotions, accept them, and then allow them to dissolve. So, I mean, we're saying it really quick, but take those words and then mix them into your personal constitution and learn how that works for you. So that's temperance. The Son of Wands, and I would also like to say that these are both fire cards, and it's a pretty sensitive topic right now considering the entire West Coast is on fire. But there's a difference between a controlled fire and a wildfire. And really quick, I just want you to know that the last card has to deal with air. And so it's, I mean, I see the analogy in here. I know that you can follow me, but it's about controlling the air so that it doesn't allow the fire to go wild, right? So in more detail, the Son of Wands basically is teaching us right now, it's asking us to focus on our wins. It's asking us to focus on what's working. Sure, I mean, we can all spend all day focusing on what's not working, super easy. But let's pick the higher road, and every day, you know, every day finding time to appreciate what is working. So consider this: every day your heart beats automatically. How often do you think about that? Every day your lungs are working automatically for you. Every day the sun is rising automatically. Every day the moon comes up automatically. And if those systems didn't operate just so, then we wouldn't live in this magical world. So my Qigong master says, joyfully participate in the sorrows of the universe. And that is what I believe this card is teaching us now. That despite all of the struggles that we're going through, what are the wins? There are things that are working. How can we focus on that? And again, I just want to say this one more time. It's my favorite quote for this year, for reasons that I know that all of you know in your heart. Joyfully participate in the sorrows of the universe. So the outcome is this. And so you can just look at this picture and kind of get an idea of what's going on here. The Two of Swords is about equanimity and balance and calm, a very calm mind. So earlier we were talking about using the heart with the logic mind. And this card is very much about, she's balancing on her left foot, and the left is the area where we receive creativity, intuitive information. It's the side of reception. And so it's calming the ego and calming the clatter so that you can hear your higher self. And trust yourself through change. The only thing that is ever really consistent in life is that things are always changing. But when we can approach all of this incessant change with equanimity, then we're good. Then we're playing the game. I mean, the best that we can with the tools that we have, and a calm mind is the most powerful thing. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I think all of you know the power of a calm mind. So Temperance, Son of Wands, and Swords, channeling or trusting your process in transmuting your emotions and directing your energy in a clear way that brings joy to you and that fulfills an authentic desire that you have, focusing on what's working and then allowing yourself joy. And also this peace of mind, it doesn't come with the light switch, it comes when you give yourself permission. So we'll end there, that give yourself permission, give yourself permission. And that's our segment.
Kat, that was great. Yes, you went 10 minutes over, but it was so
Sorry.
worth the meditation and the tarot reading for us as a collaborative group. So that was amazing. And we still have 2 minutes before your first appointment. So if anybody has any questions, please kind of jump in while I wait for the person's first appointment to come in and get her into a breakout room. So
thank you everyone for attending. Hi, my sister. Hi. Oh, yeah, I think all the appointments are taken. I'm sorry.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
And I am adding people to the wait list in case someone doesn't show, just in case, and I'll reach out. If you're on Slack, I'll reach out that way to kind of let you know that that your appointment is ready. So I'm waiting for my one person to get in. She's got 1 more minute.
Okay.
Do you need to grab some water, Kat, or take a break? I know
Yeah, actually, I think I will take this minute to do that. I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you so much, Jody.
Yep. Hey guys, in the meantime, we're just gonna sit here and chat about what you just learned, or if you had any experience you want to share with tarot reading. Once the 3:50, or I'm in Eastern time, so once the 50 mark hits, I'm gonna send Kat and her first appointment into the breakout room, and then we'll continue to stay here and chat. And then as the appointment ends, she'll come back in here and I'll just keep going through all the appointments. Yes, the appointments are currently taken, but I am creating a waiting list. My first one that I have is not in the room yet. So we'll give her a couple of minutes in case she's running behind coming from another session. And then we'll go to the first person on our waiting list. So right now I've got 5 people on the waiting list. Just in case. So Kat, I'm going to give the first appointment just a couple minutes.
Okay.
If you guys have a different name that is showing up on the screen, if you could go to the top right corner of your video or in the participants list and rename yourself so that I can match you to your appointment if you have an appointment ready, that would be great. The wait list includes the Checklist Queen, Joanna Rodriguez, Tina Marie Honor, Lane Pelishak, and Karen Laper. I think I wrote that down right. Yeah, Laser. Sorry. Handwriting is terrible. So that's the order of the waiting list. So yes, Christy and Lori, I'll get you guys both on there in the chat order.
While I have people in the room still, just to let folks know how to find me, Jody, maybe there's information somewhere, but I'm on Instagram as Kat Larson Healer, and my website is katlarson.com. So if I can't get everyone today, please do reach out and we can schedule something later.
Perfect. All right,
And shameless plug, because this is my sister, and I had to jump in.
Hi.
Somebody wanted to say hi.
Hi, sweetie. Hi.
You can book Kat for your events. I've booked her for a number of events in real life. Otherwise, it's a really great experience as you all are here. She's not paying me, obviously, to say this. I am just her volunteer manager, but yeah, check out her website.
Thank you.
And bye.
All right. So Jody, I'm not seeing the rooms up here.
Yeah, so I haven't moved you guys in there yet.
Okay.
The room's been created. I was just waiting for her to come in and she's not. So let me go to the first person on our waiting list in Slack. I'll let her know to pop in to see if she can make it over.
Okay.
because it is the right time, right? I'm looking at that correctly, 3:50. Yeah, that should be it. All right, so if Checklist Queen comes in, we'll get her assigned up. Yes, you would stay in this room. This is kind of like the waiting lobby room. And I'll move you, once you get into this room, then I can move you into the breakout room privately. So Checklist Queen, oh, Pam, is that you?
I'm here.
Oh my, okay, I almost gave away your slot.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We just have a long waiting list. So if let's see. Let me get you over into your room, and then I'll get with Checklist Queen. So I'm going to stop the recording for now as well, and we'll start a new one just for the breakouts, even though your breakout won't be recorded.
Okay.